Hello and welcome back to Sounds of Silvestri, a chronological journey through the continuing filmography of Alan Silvestri. Today we'll be covering The Amazing Dobermans. My name is Clarence, but you can call me Fred Astaire's Turtleneck. I'm joined as always by my co-host Grace, aka Roger Pancake.
What's the matter? You don't think short guys need a long sleep?
He had some of the best lines. They gave him the best lines in this thing.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God.
For sure.
Well, Grace, we're back to the Doberman gang.
Yeah.
We're returning to the beginning.
Mm-hmm. We've made it full circle already. 4 episodes in.
We've done it all. But we did have to skip over the second movie in the series, The Daring Dobermans, because for whatever reason they did not bring back Alan Silvestri for that
Though
one.
it sounds like his work, to be honest. It sounds pretty similar to what he had already created. Less ARFs.
Yes.
But that's more of a Bradley Craig. I feel like we're never going to let that die.
No, that's an iconic part of this show is the arf arf arf. Arf 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 arf. Yeah, we both watched The Daring Dobermans, I think to have a little bit more context.
Yeah, I think I liked it more than you did.
Yeah, well, you also watched it on 2x speed, which may have contributed.
Well, I was pretty frank about that in our little group chat because I watched it during my lunch break and I needed to get in and out. And it does make it. I could see where it would drag, definitely.
Yeah, well, watching it at double the intended speed, I think helps you skip over the instances of child abuse and animal abuse.
No, because movie. I knew that you had mentioned it, so I was like, okay, I got to keep eyes out. So I was locked in, waiting. And it's bad. I'll say, not great.
Yeah.
Super unnecessary and not important to the plot. No. Besides, like the fact that it shouldn't be there in the it's just like there's no reason.
Yeah, they shouldn't have it anyway. But if they're going to have it, at least have it contribute.
It just doesn't make any sense. Like why to include that?
Right.
I don't know.
Yeah. And to have the protagonist do it, and we're still ostensibly supposed to be rooting for him by the end, I guess. I don't know. I mean, we talked about this in our first episode covering the Doberman gang. We did not like the main character Eddie in that movie. And then in The Daring Dobermans, we have Steve, who is somehow even more of a piece of shit. So, yeah.
And I guess in my mind, Warren was the main character, not Steve, but we are seeing it
sure.
We are told that Steve is the main character.
Right. He's like the leader of the
I guess gang. It is good though that once again we see men fail. We see them not succeed. And that's a great feeling.
They get their comeuppance at the end and the gang escapes and is off once again.
Justice prevails, yeah.
That's it.
I do have to pour one out for J. Edgar, the dog. He doesn't return. I sort of think maybe they ate him. Do you think how long have they been on the run? They need some food,
Well, they're out in the wilderness. Yeah, they need to survive. There's no kibble out in the wilderness. And J. Edgar was pretty hefty. So yeah, I think they may have had to resort to that. Unfortunately,
I do love how the Daring Dobermans is so closely tied to the first one, whereas we learn in the Amazing Dobermans not connected at all.
Yeah, we'll get into it, but yeah, it's yeah. I mean, the second movie, it's pretty similar to what a lot of the Friday the 13th movies do, where the first 5 minutes are just a recap of the ending of the last movie.
You got to do it sometimes. Yeah.
Yeah, just reusing footage. And then, it's just straight into it. But before we get into today's feature presentation, I think we need to clear the air on something for anybody who may be following you on Letterboxd. Earlier in the week, you had a review of Star Wars The Last Jedi.
Yeah.
A 2-star review.
Yeah.
Which was, and I quote, "It's a movie." Let's talk about it. Let's get into it.
So I don't know anyone who's listening to this who doesn't already listen to 70mm, but I left a voicemail on their podcast where I talked a lot about how I think the tone is so drastically different from the other movies that it's really jarring in a way that I think sort of incorporates humor in a way that seems unnecessary. I think the root of it is not a great script. and I think there's a lot of fault in that. And so I didn't see this when this came out. I saw it maybe for my Star Wars class, but I think I didn't watch it for that actually. Because I think I had gotten rid of Disney Plus at that point.
Yeah, fair.
So I don't have any of that baggage that comes with the movie. I didn't know where I was going to end up in my experience watching it, and I like Ryan Johnson movies, so that was sort of like literally that was my entry point. I know
Sure.
people didn't love it; it was divisive, but like that's all I knew. And then I really wanted to like be locked in for, and I was locked in for it, but like 6 minutes in, it feels so totally different. The script
Yes.
is not great. Character beats are weird. Like just acting wise, it's like this is not what I'm used to with this series. And some people might think that that is a fresh take on it, or that is like we're bringing something interesting in. And to me, that was sort of. I feel like it was alienating because I came to a Star Wars movie expecting to sort of feel the emotions I feel when I watch Star Wars, but then I was sort of
Right.
hit with a kind of like MCU-esque humor, which I loved the Marvel movies growing up. Those were so fun.
Right.
But it's not what I expected from Star Wars.
Right.
And so just to have that dissonance there was tough. And then there are other moments where it's like, okay, we're going to the casino and this is Monaco. Sure. Like whatever. Or like Leia is dead but not dead. Sure.
Mhm.
I think I don't yeah, and I feel weird because like evident by our friends' reactions, no one agrees with me, or no one who agrees with me felt willing to speak up. So I'm happy to be a voice for the voiceless in this moment, but then I also don't want to be linked with the people who like when it originally came out were being horrible. Like that's sort of unconscionable. Like you can not like something, but you don't have to ruin people's lives over it.
Right. Making death threats and all that.
Exactly. Like it's a movie. It's not your life. And I know a lot of the controversy also, part of the controversy stems from Mark Hamill sort of putting it on blast before the movie came out. And I do get where he's coming from because for all intents and purposes, he's lived his life as Luke Skywalker and he's come back and he's put his faith in the series, and the series, the character is not how he thought it was going to be. And I can not imagine like just the cognitive dissonance that you would have having to portray a character or a character who is yourself, which you don't feel is accurate. And
to know that it's probably your last chance to portray that character again. Yeah.
Yes, because I wonder if he was always waiting for a call. Do you know what I mean? Like they did the prequel and he's like, oh, will it be my turn ever? And like I would imagine that would also be heartbreaking in a way to sort of be waiting and it come around and not be what you want. I did not watch is it The Director and the Jedi, whatever that documentary is. I feel like the guys really talked about how heartwarming that documentary was, and that would be something I'd want to check out because I've worked on a few little film sets and TV sets, and I just know like the care that goes into that. So I was sort of like more frustrated with myself that I didn't like the movie as opposed to like however that affected other people's reactions. I was like, I wish I liked it more and I didn't. And I feel like people really do like this movie, but like, do they overcorrect and say it's their favorite ever? Like, I don't know if that's part of it too, but I feel people are really ride or die for The Last Jedi, and that's just not my experience. And sorry, not sorry, I guess. Like, I'm not hurting anyone with a 2-star review, you know, like I'm not making it anyone's problem. I hope
Ryan Johnson is not gonna see it.
Yeah, exactly. And if he does, it's not the worst thing he's heard. You know, like
no,
I'm
definitely not.
Yeah. And I didn't hate it. I just didn't like it.
It's a movie, like you said. You know, it doesn't have to be for everybody. And I think on the overcorrecting point, I think there is probably something to that, where when it came out, it was so divisive. There was such an intense hatred from a certain section of the internet of fanboys. And I think it's hard when something like that happens, because then even if you're feeling like, even if you don't hate the movie, even if you're just kind of like, you know, it's whatever, you feel less inclined to voice those feelings because you don't want to be lumped in with like the scourge of humanity.
Yeah, which is partially why I feel like I wanted to send in that voicemail, because I was like, it is just a different perspective that's okay to have.
Right.
Yeah. Do you like it, The Last Jedi?
Well, I for this exact reason, I chose not to rewatch it, not to log a review, because I didn't want to get dogpiled. So, unlike you, I did see all 3 of the sequels opening night when they were first released. And so The Force Awakens, that was 2015.
Mhm.
And I remember the atmosphere in the theater for that midnight premiere was electric. Like, it was insane. We thought anything was possible. And like, going back to watch it now, it is pretty much like beat for beat the same as the original Star Wars.
Mhm.
But the feeling at the time, like, we had gone so long, even just since the prequels, we had gone so long without Star
Yeah, what,
Wars.
like 12
And it
years?
was like, exactly. And it felt, it was incredible. And so then 2017 comes around. I saw The Last Jedi premiere. This was my freshman year of college. Um, I was still away from home. So I went to see it with some college friends. And even that night, there was kind of like I feel like none of us wanted to say our opinion first.
Was it like it was all dampened, like, the experience was just sort of like
Yes,
yeah.
it's one of those things where you're in a theater and you're kind of like out of the corner of your eye trying to see other
Like, is
people's
anyone else seeing
reactions.
this the way I see it?
Right,
Yeah.
right. Like, because like, if somebody is really enjoying something, like, I don't want to be the one to shit on it, obviously.
Exactly. You gotta suss it out.
Um, but it was kind of like, I don't know, like, I'm feeling kind of shaky on this now. And I think that the point that you made about the jokes and stuff, it's definitely the most attempts at humor of any Star Wars movie, where like
Mhm.
they're trying so
I
hard to
think
get a
it's just, like,
laugh.
the amount of jokes too. Like, there's
Yes.
so many,
Yeah.
and a lot of them are just this like, the same type of joke over and over again, and so, like,
Hmm.
it lands l it's less effective each time they do another one because it's landing the same, but there isn't a change in the format, I guess.
Right. It's
Yeah.
just, yeah, it's just kind of plateauing. You're
Static,
not
yeah.
like, yeah, you're not one upping any of the jokes. You're not, yeah.
No.
Have you seen The Rise of Skywalker?
Mm-mm, no.
No. Okay. Okay. Well, that'll be an interesting
Yeah,
experience.
I think in the Discord, I was like, "Is it better or worse if I like it?" Like, what like, and
Yeah. What you said was, is it better or worse if I like this better? And my response was yes, because, no matter how you feel about that movie, there is going to be some sort of reaction.
Mhm.
And that's just the way it is. I
Yeah,
mean,
and that's fine, yeah, it's fine, like,
right.
we all are
Right.
watching movies on a social media platform for people to react. So I just sort of wanted to not say state my case, but just, like, sort of give some reasoning why I was feeling that way.
No, I think that makes sense. And I think the reasons that you gave, they make a lot of sense. I don't think you can dispute any of the points that you made. And it made a lot of money. So at the end of the day,
Yeah.
they all got
Mhm.
paid.
Yeah, it wasn't like it flopped horribly because people online said bad things, like, it
Right.
was fine.
Exactly. Exactly. And then I think, again, because of that, because people were saying bad things, it made a lot of people feel like, well, now I'm going to go see it a bunch of times.
Yeah, they doubled down. Mhm. Yeah,
Right.
of course.
Exactly. Which, it's okay for people to like things, and it's okay for people not to like things.
Exactly.
Anything else you need to get off your chest?
I mean, I feel like in the Discord today, I caused a little bit of a stir with all of the shorts that I watched during my lunch break. Um, check out George Albert Smith's shorts. They're all on YouTube, and they're all like a minute long, and they're all
Yeah.
from the late 1890s to early 1900s. And it's interesting to see like his filmmaking process.
Yeah, and they're all on the BFI YouTube
Mhm.
page, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
most of them.
Yeah. I was scrolling through there after you linked to it, and it's always really cool to see some of the early examples of cinema. Especially, we were
Mhm.
watching some of the first color films when it was like, hand colored, or
Yeah.
I don't want to say primitive, but like the
But
early
yeah, I mean, there's a
examples.
there's a really cool one called Santa Claus
Hmm.
from 1898, and like it's kids in bed, and then to like turn off the lights, they drape this dark black like cloth over the rest of the
Mm.
set, and then they superimpose Santa in his chimney, like going down the chimney over there. It's like really
Huh.
really smart. It's like a
Yeah.
good. It's sort of showing the way that stagecraft made it to screen because that's like a
Right.
stage technique you would think. Yeah,
Right. The
I think it's really
transition.
effective. Hmm.
That's cool. I'll have to go back and watch that one.
Yeah, I watched a lot of them. I watched
Yeah, you did.
well, so the reason I had started watching them is because I hate when franchises pad your stats in Letterboxd, and I was like, well,
Yeah.
I don't want we're going to watch another Star Wars movie next week. I don't want them all to be my top actor. Because
Right.
maybe it was you or someone was like, let's do a check-in and see. Or maybe it was Scott was like, let's do a check-in and see
Yeah.
who our top actors are. And I was like, well, I can't have them all be Star Wars characters. And so then I found a Christopher Lee short called Crossroads, which is really cool. That was on the BFI YouTube page. I was like, oh, I didn't realize they put movies up here like that. Let me find
Right.
some. And that's what led me to watch 10 George Albert Smith shorts.
Within the span of like an hour, a half hour.
Yeah, it was my lunch break. Yeah, my hour lunch break. I was just knocking them out. It was so easy. It was like, oh, the next one. But there is, oh my God. So I watched almost the entirety of Laura Bailey's, Laura Bailey, what's her name? Yeah, Laura Bailey. It's George Albert Smith was her husband. But there's one that's like a compilation of silent film stars. But there's also one I can't watch because it's lost forever. So I can't watch the I can't watch the 1898 Cinderella. It's only a minute and it's gone.
It's gone. It's in somebody's closet somewhere.
Yeah, it's in the Potato Farmers. That was on Big One Elephants. We talked about the Goose and the automaton.
The Library of Congress discovery. Yeah.
Yeah, they found it in the basement in a potato farmer / traveling showman's collection. Yeah, and they restored it.
I love stuff like that.
It was so cool. Yeah.
You never know what you're gonna stumble upon.
Yeah, especially in Diane Warren's office.
Our third episode in a row with a mention of Diane Warren.
We mentioned her on Big White Elephants too. That's why I felt like I needed to throw it in.
Oh my God. Yeah, she's getting a lot of publicity.
She's like the specter that haunts the pod.
From your shows in particular.
Yeah, that's fine.
You're leading the campaign for her Oscar. Maybe not. No, maybe not.
Not quite.
Yeah.
Just getting her name out there, you know?
That's it. In a negative fashion.
Well, ambivalent to negative. Yeah.
I feel like whenever they make a great discovery like that, of like a lost film or a lost piece of art, I feel like every hoarder is thinking to themselves like, see, this is why.
They're justified.
You know, I've got something of value somewhere. I've got to hang on to all of this crap.
But you can also like go through it yourself and see.
Right.
You don't have to just leave it there.
That's the thing. When you don't know what you have anymore, that's when it becomes an issue.
Yes.
Well, I can't think of a clever way to segue, but why don't we get into our movie for this episode?
Mm-hmm. Lucky is just another guy sat at the racetrack, betting more money than he has and hoping to catch a lucky break. However, looks like his rent is due and he is snatched by crime boss Solly's hooligans who beat him up and leave him stranded. He is rescued by ex-con Fred Astaire, whose name I did not write down, who, wouldn't you know, has 5 Doberman. Crazy. They bond and Fred offers to help him out, which Lucky declines in order to get back on the road to continue his life of hustling. He hitchhikes to the circus and learns that they bring in so much dough that there has to be an armored vehicle to pick it up. Lucky, who we also now learn is undercover, starts to plan a con which Fred Astaire and the Dobie gang work to thwart. Will justice prevail? Only time will tell in the Amazing Dobermans. Which I hate. Why can't it be Dobermen?
I know. I was gonna say I like that you changed it to Doberman in your synopsis because it just I think that's what it should be.
I think that's grammatically correct, right?
Yeah. Well, it's I guess because technically the full name is Doberman Pinschers, so it's Dobermans, but yeah, his name is
Attorneys General.
Exactly. His name is Daniel, by the way. Fred Astaire's character.
It's just Fred Astaire.
It is. It's Fred Astaire in some of the greatest 1970s fashion I've ever seen.
I really thought until they mentioned he was an ex-con that he was going to be a priest. He got real religious real fast.
I mean, yeah, I think our friend Joe Jazzy mentioned in his review that he tagged with Sounds of Silvestri that like Fred Astaire's character quotes the Bible in every single scene that he's in. And I think that's true.
Are named after religious figures. I'm pretty sure.
Yes. So. Yes. But it's not like it's not the big religious names that you would expect. Like I think one of them is named Seth or something, which always makes me laugh. Yeah. Whenever there's a name like that sounds so modern and it turns out to be biblical, it does not feel right.
It's like we've come back around. We've it's come in and out of fashion. Yeah.
Like Seth to me does not sound like a biblical name. Like that's
no, I know like 3 Seths. Yeah. Yeah. And they're not religious. Yeah.
Exactly. See, that's the thing. Yeah. Well, let's talk about the music.
Yeah.
Notably missing from the soundtrack was our good friend Bradford Craig. He was
Yeah.
not brought back for this movie for whatever reason, and
And I
I think he was
yeah, go.
sorely missed.
Me, that's
Yeah.
what I was gonna say. It was
Yeah.
lacking
Yeah.
because they don't really have the big song moment that we're used to in the Doberman movies, or just like the
Right.
Alan Silvestri movies thus far.
There's not a single lyrical song on the soundtrack.
I was really like missing "She's a Winner." I was really missing
I
that this
know.
time around.
I know. You know, they didn't bring Alan back for the second one. They didn't bring Bradford back for this one. So I don't know what that was about. Maybe, they had some pretty big stars in this movie. So maybe the budget just didn't call for Bradford Craig. They didn't have enough
Yeah.
left.
Yeah. Okay, so talking about music, so I don't want to keep jumping around.
Oh, very good.
We got some more circus themed music, but this time in an actual circus. So that was, applicable.
That was one of my notes as well. This is our third movie in a row with a carnival theme. If you had to rank them, the three Silvestri carnival themes that we've heard thus far, if you absolutely had to.
What's the carnival theme in Let My Puppets Come?
So it wasn't quite a carnival theme, but it's during Gramps' fantasy sequence. It's like a patriotic kind of thing.
Okay, well that's the best one.
Yeah. Because it's the shortest, right?
Well, because there's so much personality outside of that piece, so we're not just relying on the circus. I think this is second, and then oh my god, what's that movie called?
Las Vegas Lady.
Thank you. I think that's third because it's no one. It's like it's a liminal space circus where no one wants to be there, and it's like it doesn't exist to have fun. It exists because they picked a theme 30 years prior and they had to stick with it for the casino.
Yeah, and I think the carnival theme in that one is much more of a crutch. Like they just keep coming back.
They cannot
to it
break out of
so
that.
much.
Yeah. I like how Alan sometimes really relies on one instrument. So one time recently was the triangle. And this time it was either the repetitive bongos or congas. I don't know which one it is, but there was a scene and that's all he was doing. Just drumming away. And it's like, yeah, we get it. Not much to it, but pretty repetitive.
We are in sync on this one. My exact note for that was Alan seems to have discovered bongos during this production. Because you're right, it's just like that's all it is.
It feels like it's like 10 minutes of just bongos.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, there's also there's a brief return to the scratching during Lucky's rescue. I was like, oh yes, the scratching. All right. Back to his roots.
But I don't think any of the other music is really that notable. Yeah, without the big song, there's nothing to break it up either.
Right.
It's just transition to transition.
That's it. It's just all score. I did think so. The final scene, which is pretty abrupt, similar to the other two Doberman gang movies, you don't get much of an ending. It just kind of
closure. Yeah.
It's just gone. But at the end of the movie, Lucky is saying his goodbyes. He's leaving town. He's saying goodbye to I don't remember Barbara Eden's character's name. But he's
JP are her initials. Yeah.
Okay. So who knows? That could be anything. But I thought the sad kind of farewell theme that Silvestri does, I thought that was actually pretty good.
Yeah. A little like somber theme. Yeah.
Right. Maybe not necessarily the strongest, but like the most.
It was effective.
Right. Like the most effective, maybe the most unique work that we've heard from him so far on this show. It's like he's kind of starting to come into his own.
I think that little piece had character in a way that some of the other stuff that we've talked about have not previously had.
Yeah. So that was kind of cool to see. I mean, it was right before the ending, so you didn't get to
so quick. Yeah.
Right. You didn't get to sit with it for very long.
Mm-hmm.
I also caught again during the rescue sequence. There was almost like an homage to the flight of the bumblebee. It was kind of like a
Uh-huh,
yeah.
yeah,
I thought
yeah.
that was kind of interesting too. Well, you mentioned Fred Astaire. I think we should talk about the cast because compared to the previous two movies in the series, this is a major step up in terms of
Yeah.
star power, in terms of acting ability.
Mm-hmm.
So let's run down a few of the major players. Obviously, we have Fred Astaire, we have James Franciscus, who I think most people, if they know his name, would know him from the second Planet of the Apes movie. He's like he takes over
Mm-hmm.
from Charlton Heston, so he's like the main handsome guy.
Oh, okay.
Um, and then Barbara Eden is, of course,
Mm-hmm.
the titular genie from I Dream of
I Dream of
Jeannie.
Jeannie.
Yes.
Yeah. I did I found her Instagram. I did send her a
Mhm.
message. She didn't respond, but maybe one day we'll get a message from Barbara
Oh,
Eden.
that's sad. What did you say?
I was wondering if she had any memories relating to her work on the movie that she would love to share.
And her memory
Uh,
was, I got paid. That's my
yeah.
memory.
Mm-hmm. I had to work with a horse. Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. I did think the performances were a lot better. And
It's like you have people who know how to act. Yeah.
exactly. That was going to be my, yeah. As it turns out that when you hire experienced actors, you
It works.
get a better movie. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
crazy.
Although I think, we talked about in the when we covered the Doberman Gang that one of the things that they had to do when filming with the dogs was keep it very level, very mellow,
Mm-hmm.
so as not to put them off. Maybe it's an unfair comparison because the dogs are not in this movie that much. So
No.
they have more of a chance to emote.
That's a good yeah, yep. That's a good point.
Yeah. Um,
I really thought Fred Astaire was going to be okay. Is it Sully or Solly? How are we saying the name?
like Solly, I think.
Okay, I really thought he was going to be Solly,
Yeah.
and that would have been more interesting. I must say.
I was disappointed that he didn't have a single dance scene with the Dobermans. I thought that would have been a lot of fun, but
Mm,
I know by this point he had kind of moved on from that. He wasn't really doing
serious.
that sort of stuff. Yeah, he was
Yeah,
doing
I
dramas.
do you know at all how he came to this part? Because it seemed very unexpected.
No,
Cool.
no. Maybe he was a big fan of the originals.
Doubtful.
Yeah.
I think there were more interesting ways to go with his character because I thought he was. Why do I always say the name Solly?
Mhm.
Or I thought that he was a priest with a history of financial crime. That's much more interesting than just a
Right.
guy who's
Just a
religious in
guy
his
who
own
found
time.
God.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got really not frustrated, like irritated that they sort of like retconned the Doberman stuff. And
Yeah.
because he was like, "Oh, I trained them," and I literally wrote, "Bitch, you didn't train them yourself." Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
what's the point of doing a trilogy if the last one is just like, whatever?
Not related whatsoever. Yeah, stolen valor. I trained
Mhm.
them.
No.
Just because he has, and I did you buy his being able to use the little handheld device for the
Well, so that's when I
whistles?
was
Did you
like
find
still
that?
trying to
Yeah.
tie it back to Daring Dobermans. I was like, oh, maybe he was friends with that one guy who knew electronics,
Oh,
and
sure.
then like,
Sure.
but
Oh, yeah,
not.
yeah, yeah.
I was like, maybe that's so. I guess in my mind, I do believe it, but I don't think he created it. I think someone gave it to him.
They also never really say how much time has passed since the last movie.
He could have been like, oh yeah, I found these dogs, and that would have been fine because
Right. That's
the
it.
dogs ran away in the end of the second one. So like, it was perfectly set up.
One line.
Like,
That's all
he
you
could have been
need.
like, oh, I found the dogs and I trained them for years. Okay, great. I did. So his backstory is that he trained attack dogs in prison, which I think is just asking for a bad time in the prison.
Yes.
Like that seems.
Yeah, I didn't understand that. I guess, presumably they're training the very dogs that the guards are going to be using against them.
That's a mind fuck too. Jesus.
Right, right. But then it's like, yeah, like you said, like what's to stop them from training the dogs to help
Yeah.
them?
They've earned the trust of these animals. Just see what happens.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would be very surprised if that's a real thing. And then also in the flashback to the prison training sequence, were any of those guys supposed to be Fred Astaire? Because
don't
none
know.
of
That's
them
what I was
none of them
wondering.
looked like him.
Yeah, I was just like
I'm
a
like looking
vague
for an
prison
old
member.
man. Yeah. And like none of them even looked like a young version of him.
No, they were all men who were clearly not Fred Astaire or Fred Astaire's build. Like,
Well, there was we should have been looking for one guy in the back doing like tap dancing or something.
yeah,
Like, okay,
he was
there
actually
he
doing a
is.
show in the calf. Yeah, it was performing. It was arts block, performing arts time.
I did think it was really cute that Fred Astaire refers to the Dobermans collectively as family. I thought that was very nice.
Yeah, it's sweet. Yeah,
Like when they're having dinner, he's like, "Okay, family, we're gonna pray now." That was cute.
I need you to know God. Yeah.
What was the? I also wrote down the prayer that he gave when he and the dogs
Yes.
were having dinner, and it ended with, "We will try not only to be good, but good for something. Amen."
That was sweet.
I was like, is that my new motto? Is that my new life motto?
Well, we also at that point I think got like the little church chords from Alan, right? Is that when that happened?
Yes, I think so. Yeah. He's being cute with it.
Yeah, maybe a little mischievous.
The other religious thing, I forget what they were talking about. I think Lucky is talking about how he's basically a gambling addict. And Lucky says something about how like God isn't a gambler or something.
Mm-hmm.
And Fred Astaire says, "Oh, you call the creation of heaven and earth a sure thing?"
And then I don't know when this is, but he goes, "He who puts chance before faith is a fool."
Take it easy.
Really heavy-handed.
Yeah.
Did Byron find God between the second and third films?
Is
that
a
what
great
happened?
question.
Alan won't answer my email either. Just sending
Nobody's
messages into
answering
the
our
ether.
emails. Yeah.
Jesus.
Anybody even remotely involved with this, we're reaching out to, and nobody will give us the time of day.
No one cares. We care so much, and yet no one cares back.
Yeah. It's
it's a tough
hurts.
world out here.
It hurts. Do you think that was Fred Astaire's own wardrobe?
Oh, that's a great question.
Because like he was a Hollywood guy. He's involved with dancing. I could see him having sort of like flashy stuff like that. Because like the note that I made was his wardrobe consists almost exclusively of turtlenecks, flamboyant button-up shirts, and gold chains. Like that's all he wears the entire movie.
I don't know. That's a good question. I was like, did he wear something to set one day, and then costumes were like, yeah, sure, let's go with that. Like
great, Fred.
Yeah, good enough.
Because I did notice in the credits near the end, there was a note. It said, "Mr. Franciscus's wardrobe supplied by Levi Strauss and Company." So I mean, he had a whole separate wardrobe.
A Levi drop for him.
But so maybe he was getting all the Levi stuff, and Fred's like, "I'll just bring my own stuff. I'm not gonna. You guys don't have to worry about that."
What would Fred have been sponsored by? Sears? Like what are we like, at that time?
Fred Astaire's wardrobe supplied by AARP.
Reader's Digest.
Yeah, they sponsored it. And then in his rider, his contract was he needed 3 glasses of prune juice every morning before he did makeup.
Gotta keep him regular. Yeah.
All right. Well, we talked about the guys, the main guys. Let's talk a little bit about Barbara Eden, Justine, because I thought she did a pretty great job. She's largely sidelined at the end of the movie.
Yeah, we don't see her for a bit.
For a long time after she's kidnapped. Yeah. She's misused in that way because she's just, in the beginning of the movie, she's like this strong character, and then they sort of reduce her to almost like a damsel in distress.
Yeah. It's interesting at the beginning. She's a character that has such like self-worth that I feel like we don't see a lot in female characters. So that was like really refreshing to see. And then it sort of just devolves when they're like, we're sort of tired of her character. Let's make it easier for us to work around that.
And I felt like she forgave Lucky way too easily at the end of the movie for lying to her. I mean, he lied to her face from the very beginning about who he was, what he was doing. And like, I get, he's in They don't say if he's in the FBI or the CIA.
You mean Special Agent Justice Department?
Yeah.
I so badly wanted that to be my name on Riverside, and they said it was too many characters. But I generally like let out a laugh.
Special Agent Justice Department.
Sure.
Censorship. They won't let you choose that name.
Well, he didn't know if he wanted to be domestic or international incidents. You know, he wanted to leave his options open.
But, you know, he lies about everything. And she's just like, fine.
Isn't that so exhausting? Like,
Yeah.
as a if someone was like interested in me and then they lied about everything, like I'd drop them so quickly because it's just so tiring.
Right.
Nothing.
Like,
You will never
know
think
who
anything
you
they
are.
say is true again. Yeah.
Exactly. No, yeah. I mean, how could you? Like, how could you believe anything? Because that's
There's
the other
literally
thing
no
is,
trust. Yeah.
right. You know, they don't say the period of time that this movie takes place over. So it could be, I mean, we see him working in the circus. We see them practicing a new routine with the dogs. So presumably it's over, you know, a longer period of time. And he's
At least a
lying
couple
that
months.
entire. Yeah, exactly. At least a couple months. And then to find out that none of that was true is like such, I don't know how you come back from that.
I don't know. I guess because the truth might be better than the lies, because he's
Yeah.
not like broke off. Like he is employed, which I guess is a step up from being
Sure.
thousands of dollars in debt to a mobster. Maybe that's like more appealing. But yeah, I don't know. You can't recover, honestly. I mean,
Yeah.
you shouldn't recover.
Well, and thankfully he makes the decision for her and he decides to just get out of town.
Yeah.
And Fred Astaire tells him, you're making the biggest mistake of your life, which again, missed opportunity. Could have had a little bit more character development from Fred Astaire there. Like,
I thought you were gonna say dance scene.
well, that too. Yeah.
A little dance number, a little. It's lessons are better learned through song. Yeah.
The biggest mistake. Yeah. That would have been great. I wish. If I was called in to punch up this script, that would have been my number one note is when does Fred Astaire sing and dance?
Just like a little ditty, a little like shuffle, you know? Like he doesn't have to do much. Just a little tap moment and a little melody. You're good to go.
I feel like that would have been such great fan service. Like even when they're doing the circus routine, maybe Fred comes out and he does like a little sidestep or something. You know that,
and it would just like liven up the piece a bit because in the middle it's a little bit dull.
Yes,
it's a lot dull.
Yes, I was gonna say a little is generous.
Yeah,
for a movie that's called The Amazing Dobermans,
I forgot that was the title. No,
not very much amazing and not very much Dobermans.
Mismarketed, I'd say. Yeah.
Well, I don't know if you read this, but this movie was retitled and re-released in 1978. They retitled it Lucky.
That's just boring. Like that's
exactly.
Oh, we didn't mention second character named Lucky that we've covered on the show. Yeah,
that's right. Second character named Lucky. It is kind of funny. We go from the first movie has a bulldog named J. Edgar, and then in this one he's a special agent, Department of Justice. So a little bit of a transition there. Yeah. Speaking of connections, our friend Justin, in his review, he said, "What a surprising coincidence that Alan Silvestri scored 2 films in a row that both had actors with dwarfism in them, and also a character named Mr. Big." I do feel like they only briefly mention Mr. Big. I think that's how they refer to Sally, like just kind of offhand. He meets Samson. Who is a man with dwarfism. And the first thing he immediately asks him if he's in the circus.
It feels out of pocket, I must say. Yeah.
And luckily, you know, he happened to be right. But can you imagine how awkward that would be if he was not? Like, why is that the first thing?
That is not good.
And there's no indication of why he would think that other than this man is short.
That's just like there's a lot of stereotypes coming into play, a lot of assumptions. Yeah, not a good look for our protagonist, who we also already are like not trusting and not loving because of his past and like what his actions.
Yes. That's a continuing trend in this series where the protagonist, they don't do very much to endear the audience to the main character.
No, maybe it's just like Byron's way of writing.
Yeah, because maybe he knows that whoever the main character is in a movie or a TV show, the audience is automatically like going to root for them to a certain
Mm-hmm.
extent, even if they're a terrible person. So maybe he's just assuming there's not much that I can do that's going to make them completely turn against this character.
Well,
I don't know.
maybe maybe he didn't really he underestimated modern audiences, I think.
I think so.
Mm-hmm.
Because I was.
Because when he said, when I'm 100 and they're watching this movie, they're gonna love this character.
If his son would respond to our emails, we could get some clarity on all of this.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, now he's going to listen to this episode and he's like,
And
"You're calling me.
We're fucked. Yeah. Yeah.
I'm definitely not
Alan, we're
answering
sorry.
them
We really
now."
tried. We really wanted to hear from you.
Yeah.
We know it's just not meant to be.
We're just lashing out because we're sad.
We're so hopeful. Yeah, we were so hopeful, and we're just really devastated right now. We hope you understand. You're a therapist. You probably will.
Please answer our email. Please get back to us, Alan.
We'd love to hear from you.
So in the first movie, the Doberman gang robs a bank. In the second movie, they pull off a Watergate-style operation, breaking into... Go ahead.
It's iterative of the first one. Like they heard about how the first one went down, and they're like, let's go bigger.
So they break into the office of a political party to steal money. And then in this one, they're performing in the circus. It's sort of it's like How the Mighty Have Fallen. It's a step down. Don't you think they would find that degrading?
The Doberman?
Yes.
Yes. I do think so. I think that they're like, why are you training us for something if not the biggest caper of our lives? Because like in the second one, it is an intense operation, which I really like that you're able to see. Like you watch them build the structure that they are going to, that they have the Dobermans go, and it's not really effective, but they're training them, and it's very. The part with the elevator killed me. Anyways, it is very apparent like what they're doing. Like we're training these dogs to do this, and it's a very specific, very specialized thing. Like they have like rotating schedules. Like each dog goes to an office, they park up, and then 2 dogs go to the money, and then they switch out and guard the office. Like they have a whole system, and they're just doing circus acts now. Yeah. It feels very like washed up performer in that way, so that feels accurate. But I feel like the Doberman are better than this.
Maybe it's similar to Fred Astaire's timeline, where they had their life of crime. They're going straight. They're moving on.
God. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
Maybe they changed their names to Religious Figures. That's he didn't change it. They said they wrote it out with their paw. Today I am Adam.
Yeah, we didn't see that part of the training in the first movie where they taught them how to write in the sand with their noses, write and read. Wait a minute.
Wait.
God backwards. God. Dog. Holy shit.
Oh my God.
Wow.
They didn't need to find God because they are God.
Oh God. Stupid. But yeah, you're right. I mean, there's another training sequence, because there's always a training sequence in this series, but this
one I think is the worst one.
Yes, I would agree, because you get a lot more footage of Lucky and Daniel doing more of the training. There's like this silly thing with a giant oversized hot dog for some reason that Daniel is holding up in like a suggestive manner. I think we'll probably end up using that as as the cover image for this episode. But then they're also like, they're playing with dynamite for some reason. Like they're just handling sticks of dynamite.
Yeah. So I was trying to find cover art stuff before I watched the movie. And so I saw the dynamite and I was like, what is happening? And it's not really that important. It's really not that integral to what happens.
Right. I mean, they use it at the end to break into the truck and somehow don't kill James Franciscus.
Or burn the money.
Or burn him. Yeah. Or burn the money or anything. They toss in 2 whole sticks of dynamite into an enclosed space.
When you just have loose dynamite laying around.
You got to use it. And he comes out perfectly fine. He's just coughing a little bit. He's not even really dirty. I was going to say, this is especially, I mean, it's more tame than the second movie in that there's no domestic violence, but it's
Mhm.
way more tame than the first movie. Like there's
Yeah.
no blood, there's really no
Mhm.
swearing that I can remember.
Mm-mm.
So it feels like that was one of our big gripes about the first movie was like, who is this movie for? And it
Yeah, we
feels
didn't know.
like they've settled on, okay, this is for kids. Like this
Yes.
is,
This
yeah,
is a family film. Yeah.
yes. Like
You
it's,
know, when you
we're
talk to your
gonna,
family about gambling and debt and horse racing,
and God, and yeah, it's all the important
financial crimes, really a big fun family topic.
why do racehorses always have such ridiculous names? Do you know? I was thinking about that when he's at the
You mean you
racetrack.
didn't
Like
love Nightstick and the Blue Shoe? You don't like those names?
Blue Shoes Nose.
I don't understand horse racing.
I think that's probably for the best.
I did think it was a ballpark when it first started. I was like, oh, like it was just like okay. Whenever I see horse racing, I think about the Sting because that's the operation. Have you seen the Sting?
Yes, yes,
That's like their operation, right? They fake horse races, right? Or
yes. I
they
think
time
that's
it
right.
early. They get the yeah. Oh, I want to mention this. We're 4 for 4 with movies based on money. Does that make sense? Like
Yeah,
money,
it's been all heist movies,
yeah,
heist or like
like
it's all about like
we need money quick. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. I think we'll probably break that streak. But yeah, that is interesting. It was definitely like top of mind in the
Mhm.
1970s.
Yeah. Do we learn God, what's his name? What's the main guy's name?
Lucky?
Thank you. Jeez, I'm really bad. I was like, well, it's not
okay.
Daniel.
Not Daniel, no. That's Fred.
What is his plan? For phase 1 is losing 10 grand. What is he doing?
I did not understand that at all. So he keeps
Okay,
calling
thank you.
he keeps calling presumably is my
Special-
word of the day, by the way. I've used it about 5 times now. But I assume that he's calling
the special agent department at the Justice Department. Yeah.
the special agent department.
Super
yes.
special agent at Justice Department.
Exactly. He's calling J. Edgar. And yeah, he's telling
Not
them
the dog.
like no. Oh, can you imagine? Oh my God.
That's
Maybe
where he
that's where
went.
he is.
He wasn't
He took
eating.
over.
We are on one tonight.
Yeah, we're figuring stuff out. That's what it's about. He's he's like his phases of the plan. And it
Him
didn't
losing
make
more and
any
more money.
sense. Yes, I guess because he's trying to like he keeps borrowing money from Solly, Mr. Big,
Mhm.
who's, like the bookie or the loan shark or
Yeah,
whatever. And he's
head
trying to
honcho.
get in debt enough that like they will beat the shit out of him and like bring him to the head boss, I guess.
Mhm.
And then he can like put the sting on him or something or like finally catch him
I
in the
guess.
act. But it's like it's a pretty risky plan because they do threaten to kill him at one point and they like have their guns drawn and he's clearly like scared that he's about to die. So it
Mhm.
seems like there has to be a better way to
Deal with this? Yeah, I don't know.
Yes.
I just feel like they really don't care about him living or dying at a certain point. And it's like, well, there goes your whole operation. Because
Right.
when you're no longer useful, you're disposable, right? So then it doesn't matter if you feel like you're closing in on them because they're just going to kill you and it's going to be over.
even before they escalate it and they're going to kill him, like they do beat the crap out of him. Like we see him, he's getting.
I mean, it doesn't look like it, but yeah, he does get.
Yeah, I mean, it's not great. It's not great fight choreography, but thankfully, Daniel was there to hear it because who knows what would have happened.
Well, I think that didn't the dogs hear it? Isn't that the implication?
Oh, sure, that's right. I think that's right.
With their super special ears.
Super special hearing. That's
Mhm.
wouldn't after all these years of the dog whistles, wouldn't that affect their hearing? Does that harm dogs' ears at all? I guess I don't
Are they
really
more
know.
sensitive? I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know if people can do research on that. Like, I guess
Mhm.
because you can't really get a dog's reaction. Like in
Yeah.
terms of
Does this hurt you?
they're not answering surveys.
Yeah. One of the quotes that I wrote down, I think it was pretty early on when he calls into work about the first phase of his plan. He said, "I may have to drop $5,000. That's more money than I make in a year."
I
Which was
know.
pretty funny. Pretty funny.
Yeah, we got some stuff like that from the second movie too. When they talk about like wages and unemployment.
That stuff always cracks me up. Like I always have the inflation calculator open to figure
Mhm.
out how much Okay, so 5,000. This still is not great. So $5,000 in 1976 is equivalent to about 28 and a half.
Oh, that's bad.
20, yeah, like $28,581 today. So as a special agent, you're making less than $29,000 a year.
Your life is on the line. Like,
Sure, right.
it's not like a cushy, like you're not in like Quantico. You're not like in headquarters.
It's not a desk
like,
job.
Exactly. You're not like just like an analyst. You're like you're on the scene.
Right.
Front line.
And he's traveling. I mean, he's doing expense reports, all this stuff, and he's making, man, that's a tough job. It's a tough life as a special agent, Department of Justice.
No. Can we talk about the other animals in this movie?
Yes. Because there's a lot of them.
Do we get a Humane Society warning or something? Because you turn a corner and a bear is just there. Just a loose bear.
Yes, we did. I stuck around for the credits. And so all three of the movies in this series so far have gotten the American Humane Society, whatever you want to call it, seal of approval. Yeah.
Yeah, we've got a bear. We've got some horses. We've got some elephants. A lot
Everything.
of dogs. Yeah,
a lot of
everything
dogs.
You can want.
Yeah. We've got James Franciscus shoveling elephant shit at a certain point because they're like, well, we got a job for you. And he's like, oh, okay, great. And then cut to shoveling shit.
It is crazy that that was the hiring process.
Yeah, that's it.
No reference, no application. There's like, you need a job? Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
Come live with us for months at a time.
Right.
Do you like the circus? Have I asked you this?
I've never been to a real circus. I've been to carnivals, which is like not the same. Like carnival is more of a sleazy kind of thing. I have been in Wisconsin, around the Wisconsin Dells in like Baraboo, which won't mean anything to anybody who's not from Wisconsin, but in that area, there's a circus museum, which was kind of cool. Because I forget who, like, I don't know if it's the Ringling Brothers or somebody.
It's not,
but like,
I know where that museum is.
Okay. Well, I was going to say, there's some big circus family,
Barnum?
Or it might be Barnum, who's from Wisconsin originally. So there's like a circus museum, and I've been to that when I was young. I don't remember much about it, but no, I've never really been to a real circus. What about you?
My grandma loved the circus, so we went a couple times when I was a kid, and they still had like the elephants. We would get like the Ringling Brothers. They would give you like little clown noses that you could have.
That's cute.
But we just stopped going. I mean, she didn't really. I think like you go once or twice, and you're like, yeah, I've seen the circus. And we did. I feel like that's the same as like all like the Disney on Ice shows. You go once or twice, and you're like, okay, yeah, like I get it. It's like a novelty and it's fun, but you don't. We didn't feel connected enough to go again. And I don't think I should ask her if she wants to go again. I don't know if they still have them. I know the elephants are no longer there, but she grew up with horses. So she really loved seeing like the show horses and things like that. Maybe I should see if she wants to go to the circus again. Probably it's going to be a no. I don't know if it's coming around, but
you never know. Yeah. Ask your grandma.
Yeah. Nancy, we'll see what happens.
I was going to say, yeah, I know they don't really do many of the animals anymore. Because as it turns out, the animals did not really enjoy that experience. They never thought to ask. That's an interesting way to
put it. Yeah, they couldn't survey them, right?
I have the page up here, and so apparently the Ringling Brothers began their first tour as a circus in Baraboo in 1884. And so that's why there's a circus museum.
So I'm thinking of, so I worked in Sarasota for a tiny bit, and on the campus where the theater was, it was a Ringling Brothers, I think it's the museum. Yeah, it's the Tibbles Learning Center and Circus Museum at the Ringling. So that's what that is.
This is called like Circus World or something.
Circus World? That's cool. Well, if anyone wants to go to the Ringling Brothers Circus, Ringling Bros and Barnum and Bailey, they're on tour now throughout November.
Dang.
Wow. December. They're wrapping up in Cincinnati, Ohio on December 6th, 2026.
Oh, I missed it. I could have gone almost exactly 3 years ago.
Well,
They
it
were-
seems like they're just going to keep coming around because they're giving a release date for tickets going on sale for 2027. So we're just going to find what's closest to you.
Perfect.
Doesn't seem like there's anything.
Yeah, I'm looking at a page here. March 21st, 2023. Ringling Brothers and Barnum and Bailey, The Greatest Show on Earth, is returning to Milwaukee for the first time in 25 years.
God, you really did miss it.
I missed it. Oh,
Okay, what's closer to you? St. Paul or what's the Rosemont, Illinois?
probably Rosemont, because St. Paul is
Wait.
like a 6-hour drive.
You can go November 6th through the 8th. Do you want to go
Perfect.
Friday, November 6th at 10:30 a.m.? Plenty of shows, plenty of
Yeah.
tickets.
Yeah, an early morning. That's psychotic. 10:30 a.m. for the circus. God, that's awful.
That's brutal. I can fly to Rosemont for an hour and a half. Great.
Hey, there you go.
Anyways, we can get back on topic.
Do you have any other minor notes? I think that's our major stuff.
Was that a paint gun or was that truly nacho cheese?
See, that's the thing. This is what I'm talking about with them kind of taming it down a little bit, is they don't shoot anybody. It's just they're squirting paint on the windshield of the armored car.
It looks insanely like nacho cheese.
Yeah.
Which felt like a gimmicky thing they would do. I don't know.
That's their calling card. You know, it's like the wet bandits
Wet
in Home
Bandits?
Alone. They're the nacho cheese bandits.
No, we have to they have to have a catchier
what would
name.
it be?
I was thinking cheese slingers.
Oh, there we go.
That's not
The
great.
the cheese slingers have struck again. Who will stop them?
All armored vehicles. It's their target of choice. Oh, I want to talk about the Circus Septimus poster. If we could make that work, that'd be a great patch. But I think the
Yes.
resolution is too low on the transfer that we have for that to work.
Yeah, you'd have to find like an actual physical poster and probably scan it in. But yeah,
And
I mean
can't find it. Yeah.
no, it's a fantastic poster. I mean, it oversells both the action and the amount of time that the Dobermans are in this movie, but it
Mhm.
looks great. Like I like the
Mhm.
one that's holding a gun. I think that's really funny, just holding a gun in its mouth.
I think those are my things.
I think I had a couple of other quotes. So I had one when Lucky is on the phone with Solly,
Mhm.
and he's threatening him. Solly says, "I would hate to see you develop one of the 7 early warning signs of death." Which is like, that's so stupid. Like that's such a stupid way to put
is
it.
that a
if you're trying to be
threat?
threatening,
Like, yeah.
Right.
What are we doing?
Maybe he's genuinely concerned for his well-being.
When we have to question the intention, maybe not that effective.
Oh, one of the questions I had is, when was the last time in this country that hitchhiking was actually feasible? He's hitchhiking at a certain point, and it's like, I feel like even in 1976, like with the surge in crime and like roadside killings, I feel like it was already kind of on the way out.
Hold on, let me quickly skim this. The rise and fall of hitchhiking in the U.S. article from history.com.
We
What
need
says hitchhiking's
research.
popularity exploded in the early 1970s? Sure, hold on.
Okay.
Let me scroll. Skimming.
Because I was going to say, I'm sure in the 60s, like with the hippies, it was still a big thing. But I feel like, I don't know, I feel like I always heard after Manson and like everybody started to view the hippies as a more dangerous, it sort of went away. But I'm happy to be proven wrong.
Yeah, so this is like sort of more vague, but yeah, in the 70s, enforcement of stricter state laws and local ordinances sought to regulate or limit hitchhiking, and federal law enforcement agencies began actively warning about its danger. So I'm sure there was a campaign.
Yeah.
This one says one FBI poster depicted a well-dressed hitchhiker in a Ford motorist that a stranger could be a, quote, friendly traveler or a vicious murderer. In reality, Reed, who is I guess the person they're quoting, says it was less about hitchhiking and more about how do we get rid of this countercultural presence. So
Yeah. There you go.
And it said they did a report in California and it was only 1% were involved in crimes in the state. Oh, and then that's when highways became more.
Sure. Of course. The interstate.
70, yeah, 2 or something. So then like you're not going to pick someone up if you're like flying by.
Right.
Because then you can't, yeah. And then like counterculture died out, right? So like there's a lot of different reasons why I think why it sort of fizzled
Yeah.
out. But it's really interesting that like it was partially due to the fact that the government was telling us it was bad. Like it was like almost like a smear campaign against hitchhiking.
Well, with their patented light touch too. Could be a well-meaning businessman or a vicious murderer.
They're really one for nuance.
Have you ever seen anybody hitchhiking?
I don't know. I think it's more of a country thing. I don't know.
Yeah. I saw it. I've seen it exactly once, and
Really?
it felt like I saw a time traveler.
Oh, I was going to say, did it feel like you
because-
witnessed a crime? I feel like
yeah. I immediately called the police, and they were taken
Clint
away.
said, I will be a reporter. Yeah, I will.
Yeah. And I never saw him again. No, it was, I forget where we were. We weren't on the highway, obviously. I feel like there was like a fish concert or something nearby because I mean,
Okay.
it did. It felt like I saw a time traveler because it was two people, younger people, dressed like hippies with their thumbs stuck out on the side of the road. And it was like, oh my, like what
Did you see
year
them
is
get
this?
picked up or no?
No. Well, we didn't pick them up. I can tell you that.
that was yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I think
No.
was it on this podcast where we talked about like the lack of community? I feel like I've talked about that with someone about like how we don't care about our neighbors anymore, and I feel like that sort of lends.
I don't know if we
It,
talked about it on the podcast, but I think you and I have definitely talked about that
Yeah.
before. Yeah.
And we should just embrace community. And like, I mean, things are dangerous, right? Like you don't know, but
Right.
like I also think it's okay to let people in. Maybe not into your car to drive a long time, but like it's okay to be friendly.
It's tough because I feel like with hitchhiking, it almost feels like both parties have reason to be suspicious because, like,
Yes.
like as a hitchhiker, you don't know who you're getting into a car with. And then also as a
Uh-huh.
driver, you don't know who you're picking up. So it's like you're incentivized
Have-
to not trust them.
Have you seen the Ida Lupino movie, The Hitchhiker?
No, it's on my list. Big surprise.
It's good. I think you should.
Yeah.
On your list of 10,000. Yeah.
It's on there.
Every
I've
time
been meaning to. I
see-
love the poster.
Hold on. I think it's a great movie. I was trying to find my review of it. I do think that every time I see your like something you watch list, I'm like, oh, like Clarence like wants to watch it, and I'm always like, oh, but he'll never get to it. It's like
I'm getting there.
No,
I've really
no,
been
I
trying
believe
this
in you.
year to only watch stuff that's on my watch list. I mostly have,
yeah,
but it's
I gave
tough.
it 3.5 stars and a heart.
Okay.
It was part of my watching women directors push towards the middle of last year. Yeah, but I can't remember if that one, if the hitchhiker is the evil is the problematic party, or it's the drivers. I think it's the hitchhiker. Yeah, which makes sense for the title of the movie.
Yeah, the big twist is that the hitchhiker is
Hitchhiker is
a very
not.
nice person.
Yeah, he's just a regular guy.
Yeah. I think I had one other note, but I got to double check it before I.
The lighting in your room is making you look a little bit jaundiced right now.
Yeah, I know. Well, this is some deep lore about me, but I actually am slightly jaundiced because I have a disorder. It's called Gilbert's, and it means that my body
do you
can't
really?
process. Yes, it's my dad passed it down to me, and it means that my body can't process bilirubin.
So maybe not the time to make a Mr. Peanut joke. Okay, good.
Yeah, but I know.
From one
the
Mr.
lighting,
Peanut to another,
the lighting is not great because all I have is an overhead, and so I do have a desk lamp, and I have it
Yeah.
pointed right at me, so it's
I'm
pretty
using
intense.
I'm using my sun lamp to provide some light, but yeah.
Okay, here's the list that I was looking for. So there's a list on Letterboxd called Jimmy Carter Letterboxd President, and it's based on an
Wait,
article.
this sounds great. Okay.
Yeah, it's based on an article from 2015, which is a list of every single movie that Jimmy Carter watched during his time at the White House, because they keep diaries of this stuff. And so
Yeah.
somebody put that together and made a list of every single movie that he watched at the White House. And on that list is The Amazing Dobermans.
No.
So Jimmy Carter, I can tell you exactly when he watched it. One moment. So Jimmy Carter watched this movie October 1st, 1977. And he
This
watched
came out
it in
November
between.
24th, 1976.
Yes.
Okay.
So he watched it.
A year
He watched
after.
it in between. So September 30th, 77, he watched a movie called One on One, which I've not heard of. Then he watched the Amazing Dobermans, and then the very next movie that he watched, December 3rd, 1977, Citizen Kane, because he needed a palate cleanser, probably.
You said it's called One on One?
Yeah, One on One from 1977.
Wow, that is currently not streaming anywhere, but I'm sure you can find it online. Melanie Griffith is in it.
Hey, all right. Yeah, so if people have the time, I recommend checking out that list because there's some interesting stuff on there. For example, he watched Midnight Cowboy,
Okay.
which probably at the time, originally that was X-rated. Probably by the time he watched it, it was already R-rated, but interesting one. On March 25th, 1977, he had a double feature of Casablanca and Young Frankenstein.
Whoa. Film connoisseur, Jimmy Carter.
On February 4th, 1978, at Camp David with Anwar Sadat, the president of Egypt, he watched Star Wars.
Oh my God. I think I did know about that one.
Yeah.
Can we link this list in the show notes?
Yes, absolutely. I will put that in there because it's fascinating. You have to wonder.
How old were his kids when? Hold on, yeah.
That's a great question. How old are his kids? You have to wonder how he had so much time to watch these movies because there's 441 movies on this list over his 4 years in office.
I was gonna make a comment. I won't make a comment. Okay, so he was president from 77 to 81. Where are his kids? Oh, sorry. Unsurprisingly, his Wikipedia page is very long.
He watched Star Wars 4 times, by the way.
Amy Lynn Carter was born in 67, so she would have been 10. So this would have been Amazing Dobermans would have been her movie time, I guess.
Her influence, yeah. Well, I hope they enjoyed it. I like to think that they would. There's also, they make a note at the end of this list. On November 19th, 1980, at 7:31 p.m., Jimmy Carter watched a film only labeled 2 quotation marks. It doesn't have a name. And then it says 9:23 p.m., he returned back upstairs. What was this mysterious film that went unlabeled? There's a Pulitzer Prize waiting for you, the reader of this dumb list, if you find that out. Godspeed.
Is that
what is this movie?
Wait. Give me the times again.
So at 7:31 p.m., he put on the film, and it's unlabeled. And then 9:23 p.m., he went back upstairs.
So is that that's our hidden journey on this podcast to try and figure out what Jimmy watched. Jimmy Carter film. Yeah. Okay. People, write it in with your thoughts. We'll go through. We'll cross-reference with the list. We'll see. Yeah, we can figure this out. What could it have been? I believe in us. We could do this.
Yeah, I think so. I think we can.
We surely have the time.
Did you have any other notes?
No, I didn't. Okay.
Well, why don't we get into fanfare or flop? This is where we talk about the box office versus the budget, as well as the critical and audience reaction. So, as has been the case with almost every movie that we've covered so far, pretty tough to find information about this one. The estimated budget was $1.2 million. I could not find the box office anywhere. I have to assume that, once again, it was like a popular drive-in movie. And as we said, they count those differently.
It is prime drive-in fodder for sure.
Yes, I could see somebody
like
watching
the kids show before they get to like the horror stuff in the evening.
Yeah, yes. This is what the kids watch it and then they fall asleep and it's like, okay,
exactly.
Bring on the main event.
Main
event. And then in terms of critical reaction, no critic is bothering to write anything up about this.
Fair.
But going forward, the legacy that it seems to have is it's a definite step down from the first 2 movies, especially considering the whole conceit is that it's these trained dogs. When you name a movie series after the dogs, you would think that they would be more involved in the movie.
Featured players, yeah. Integral, maybe.
We took the Dobermans out of the Amazing Dobermans.
You will not be amazed, and there will not be Dobermans.
That should have, I think that was actually the tagline after they retitled it and re-released it.
Yeah. That's good. That's why they changed the name, right? There was no point in keeping it.
Just lucky. And again, awful title. terrible
Yeah,
title.
why is his name Lucky? I mean, I know it's like ironic, right? That
Yeah.
he's bad at his job. But this is dumb. Give another name.
Well, for the Alan of it all, do you think that he was pivotal in this movie, or do you think anybody could have replaced him and it wouldn't have really made a difference? Do you think he was the special sauce?
That's a good question. I don't think
Mhm.
either quite apply. I think he elevated the material
Yeah.
that he was given, but I don't think he was crucial.
Yeah, I mean, in the beginning, we talked about the one kind of unique thing, the sort of farewell theme.
Mm-hmm.
But again, it was just, especially
It's not.
it's just transitional.
It's
Again,
yeah, because there's no Bradford Craig song. It's not notable.
right.
Yeah.
It's just more of the same. It is definitely elevated from his work on the first movie.
Yeah, he's learning. Yeah, we can tell that
Right.
he's developing as a composer, but I just think there wasn't much for him to do.
Right. I mean, especially over the course of just 4 years, I think I was going to say it's like a completely different person, but maybe not that far. I mean, it's a more talented person for sure. Like he's had the chance to
A more discerning person,
Yes.
perhaps?
Yes, I think that's right. And a person who knows of the existence of bongos now.
Mm-hmm.
That's a big change.
Yeah, when did bongos break into the U.S. market? Do we know?
Maybe this is what broke him in.
No,
Probably not.
It
but
can't be.
that would be too stupid. There's no way.
That would be
Well-
a fun little trivia fact somewhere if that was the
Yeah,
case.
yeah. That's the one piece of trivia on this movie on IMDb. This movie is widely considered the movie
Bringing-
to have yeah.
And maybe
To
they're
have
not even
broken
bongos.
bongos.
Maybe they're congos. I don't. One's tall, one's short.
Okay. I was going to say yeah.
Um,
Is Congos the tall one? Or is that bongos?
Hold on, let me go to Congo's Bongos, a handy field guide. Both originate in Cuba. Bongos come as a pair, one larger and one smaller. And then congos are the one that we think are bongos. Does that make sense? Like the congos are the big ones, which I think I would think of as bongos.
Whichever one he was using, he was really getting his money's worth.
Yeah, well, you can play congas and bongos together, so maybe it's a
Oh
little
my God.
mix and match kind of pair situation.
This changes everything.
But I don't know why we think why I don't know. Both of us think congas are bongos, and I don't know what happened in our childhood. Like we're the same age. Did something? What happened that like we think this?
There was some big Congos bongos.
It's like the Glockenspiel
event.
thing all over again.
Yes,
it was a corporation, and they fucked it up, and then we were hurt.
We're paying the price.
Where's our settlement? Are we entitled to financial compensation? I think so.
I think we are. I think so.
Yeah. Wow, this is off the rails tonight.
Yeah. That's all right. Well,
Okay.
before we get into our final ratings, we do have a voicemail.
Oh, yes.
Transmission coming in. Repeat, we have a transmission coming in.
What is up, Doberman gang? It's Kev here. Hi from the East Village, New York City. Did I get to the movie this week? No. Even though I had 2 weeks. Yeah. Listen, life finds a way, you guys know. Listen, this morning, the three of us were talking about an upcoming episode subject that you can't find. And I thought that was interesting, so I thought I'd call in with a little Kev's question for you. Do you guys have any holy grails, any things like you can't find, any lost media that you're looking for that you haven't found? For me, the holy grails are running out, but it's a lot of old Nickelodeon and Adult Swim stuff that seems to have slipped through the cracks. Shout out to Stickly, if you know. Grace, we used to have this thing called television, and on the television we used to have shows. Anyway, look, we'll get into it later. So what are your holy grails? What are things you're still trying to find that seem lost in the world of media with peace and love? Talk to you all very soon.
Thank you to our man on the street reporter, Kev. We appreciate you calling in from your assignment.
In the streets of New York,
In
where
the streets of New York, yeah.
It sounds like there's a hurricane, maybe? I
Hurricane?
don't know.
Yeah,
Stay safe out
Godspeed,
there,
everyone.
Kev.
Well, so Clarence listened to this voicemail ahead of time, so I'm sure you might have an answer because I don't at this moment in time. I mentioned that thing earlier. Gosh, I feel like there's something I'm definitely forgetting. So you think, and then I'll
Okay.
Maybe
Yeah,
I'll have an
I'll
answer.
talk. I'll talk for a little bit, and then you can think about it. Yeah, I did listen to this ahead of time, and as a reminder, if anybody wants to write in or leave us a voicemail, they can send an email to soundsofsilvestri@gmail.com or hit up our hotline at 414-295-9966, just like Kev. I don't know if I have one piece of media in particular that's like my holy grail. You know, we mentioned my Letterboxd watch list has over 10,000 titles on it. And so when I'm trying to decide what to watch next, I usually filter by popularity and then I pick the most obscure thing. And I think one of the reasons I do that is to prevent like more media from like slipping through the cracks, because there's a lot of stuff on my list that like, you know, less than 100 people have logged as watched. There's stuff on there that like one person has seen. Like there's a lot of obscure stuff.
What's your most obscure thing on your watch list currently?
This direct to video presentation currently has 0 watches on Letterboxd. It has 1 like, and it's featured on 10 lists, and it's called Chiller Theater Fiend Club Show Volume 2. It's from 1996. It's described as a hosted horror movie show with Gerald Kaifa Jr. and Paul Kaifa as Doyle. I guess it's kind of like an Elvira type thing where they're presenting a movie. And the only reason why that's on my watch list is because I added everything that Roger Corman was ever involved with to my watch list, which is a lot of stuff. But let me try and find something. So that's probably it, because like nobody has seen that.
Yeah.
Because why would they?
Okay, I think I should go through my more obscure things, and that should be my priority list. Right now, my most obscure thing is a 2022 documentary, but you can find it. It's only been watched by 17 people, but it's available on Hoopla.
Right.
It's called Dora Escape into Music, about the pianist Kira Stekwa. But when I think about lost media, I think I tend to think about things as a kid that I loved and I just can't find. But I think I found some of them now, so they're not really lost. Like I really used to love this spellbound fairy jigsaw book, and like every page was like a puzzle, which was very, very cute. But I think you can find that online. But my true lost media is something from when I was an undergrad. So it's not really lost, it's just like inaccessible, I guess. It is when we were there, I studied abroad in Luxembourg. I think I've mentioned that. Well, we were about to see a special screening of a documentary called Codename Ashcan, which is based on the play of the same name, which tells the story in French, English, and German of when Nazi prisoners were held in a castle in Luxembourg. And it's a documentary about that time, but also like a sort of behind the scenes version of the play. And I have tried so hard to find this. Like when I was undergrad, I was emailing all these, like I was like really like invested in like the librarians. I was like, can you find this for me? No one can find it. It's just not available to screen. And because you can find things about like Codename Ashcan, the project, or like the prison, or like that, things like that, but you can't find like the documentary Ashcan, the Secret Prison. But it's like, it's on IMDb, like it's out there somewhere, but it's just like inaccessible. Yeah, I just can't find it anywhere. And I remember like loving it, and maybe it sucks now, but like now I feel like I have to like really ride or die for this.
Right.
Yeah. It's a theatrical docu-fiction is how Letterboxd calls it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, there's so much stuff out there that's like that too. After I listened to Kev's voicemail, I was on the Wikipedia page for Lost film, and it's estimated that half of all American films that came out before 1950 are lost, which is like crazy
so
to
tragic.
think about. Yeah.
And they just might be somewhere. Like that's like,
right. That's the thing. Yeah.
So it both like boils my blood, but then also makes me so sad.
Yes.
Because like just think about like the effort that went into, you know what I mean? Like it's just like there was so much craft and it's all gone, which is how I feel about like the Library of Alexandria. You know, like we're never getting any of the information back. So it's just I have a lot of like very like I guess it's the history major. Like I just have a lot of like deep-seated feelings about not being able to access information. That's why the things like the Library of Congress, finding that tape is really, really important. And I feel like we should highlight it more, because it's such a rare feat. And the fact that they found it and they restored it and it looks good.
And it still holds up too. Like
Yeah, it's still funny.
yeah.
It's universally
Yeah.
amusing. So yeah, I don't know. People write in about their Holy Grail lost media
Yeah,
things. I'd be really curious to
absolutely.
find what people say. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Do you have any more obscure things you wanted to mention from your watch list?
So I have one on here. It's currently available on Amazon Prime and Pluto. It has 88 people have marked it as watched, and it's called Little Bi Peep. And
Okay.
the reason why this one is on my watch list is because there's a list on Letterboxd that is called Actually Bisexual Characters.
Mm-hmm.
And so that was on this list. And I'm not really sure what this one is about, but it has a very funny poster.
Do you often just like add a whole list to your watch list? Is that how you go about it?
Sometimes, yeah. Like I have most of the like major letterbox lists on there just because they overlap a lot, like the top 500 and like famously I have every single movie that's ever been nominated for an Oscar on my watch list. So that
notoriously,
that
there.
pads it out quite a bit. But yeah, I have that bisexual list on there just because I feel like it's representation that you don't see very often. Or if you do, it's like, it's like, oh, I'm straight with exceptions or something like that.
Yeah. There's
So
not a
this
lot
is
of
like
nuance
genuine.
By character portrayals.
Yeah. When Kev mentioned Nickelodeon, I was reminded of
Sorry.
I was reminded of an episode of SpongeBob. You didn't watch SpongeBob as a kid, right?
Once in a blue moon, it was my
Yeah.
brother wasn't allowed to watch it because it made him angry.
It made him angry.
It did. It like made him like violent.
Oh my god. Well, there was an episode.
He's
called
super mellow now, I must say. So he got it all out when he was a kid.
Thank God he didn't watch SpongeBob.
Yeah. Who knows what we would have turned into? Sorry.
There was an episode called The Lost Episode. And I forget when it came out, but I was pretty young. And, obviously I didn't know how this worked, but I remember thinking, there were ads for it leading up to it, obviously, like the Lost Episode of SpongeBob. And I was like, I have to be there to watch this because they're never going to play it again. Like I have to see it. And I remember when it was going to be on, my parents were like, well, we have to go somewhere. And I'm like, you don't understand. Like I can't miss this episode.
You were committed.
Yes. And I think in the episode, it turns out, because the whole conceit is that this isn't going to make sense to somebody who hasn't watched a lot of SpongeBob. So feel free to tune it out. But Patchy the pirate discovers the actual Lost episode, and so he's like all excited to watch it. He puts it in his VCR, and all it is it's like different versions of SpongeBob walking, kind of goofy, and he goes berserk because he's like this ultra fan, and he's he feels betrayed. He's like, this is it. And so he gets rid of all of his SpongeBob memorabilia. Like he rips off his SpongeBob bed sheets and all this stuff. And he leaves the house, and then the tape goes on, and it is like an actual episode. And so he comes back and all is well.
I forgot that SpongeBob has like a frame narrative.
Yeah. And Patchy is also played by Tom Kenny, who voices SpongeBob.
Because it just sort of felt like a fabric of like Nickelodeon as opposed to like the fabric of the show to me as like I was saying a non-believer, a non-watcher.
A non-believer. I'm SpongeBob agnostic.
Yeah.
But no, so Kev's email made me think of that, the Lost episode of SpongeBob. And then later on, obviously, as I got older, I learned that reruns are a thing, and that was a sort of dumb thing to get angry about.
No. I think that's okay, because I think when we were little, like, you didn't know if we were going to be able to see it again. Like, that's why I love The Parent Trap, because like I was able to treasure that as like my first favorite movie, and I didn't know if I was going to see it again. Like there was that magic there that I think, because things are so available now, that when they're not, it leads to more frustration as opposed to like a cherishing of the memory that you had It's more like we expect things to be here at the touch of a button. And when they're not,
Right.
then it's a problem. But it shouldn't be like that.
I really think that more often we should just kind of sit and take in how amazing it is, how much is available to us, like so easily, you know.
Have you ever read Station 11?
No, I haven't. I have not.
Okay, well, there's a moment that has always stuck with me in that book. It's about a pandemic, and I read it before the pandemic, but I know it blew up again when we were living through it.
Imagine that.
But their thing is that they lose all electricity, part of it, and then there is a museum in an airport, an old airport, to like physical objects that like could no longer work. And I just think it's so,
okay.
and they sort of have to learn how to live without that, and that's why theater becomes theater is a big part of the book. There's like a traveling theater troupe because like theater is accessible, and that is something that you can hold a script and you can tell a story, and you're not relying on other pieces of and forms of media, and that's sort of all in the text. I just think it's a really interesting. That sort of has always stuck with me, the idea that like we might lose things forever, and that's also probably why I became an archivist, because that really stuck with me as well. Like trying to sort of safeguard that. I don't know, just food for thought, I guess. Read the book. It's pretty good. It's pretty short too. But I also haven't read it post-pandemic, so I don't know how that would resonate. So if you don't think you can handle it, then maybe don't. I'm not encouraging people to do so if they don't believe it would be good.
Maybe wait a few more years till we're
more numb to it.
yeah, a little more removed. The one other thing that I wanted to mention on the topic of lost media, so F.W. Murnau, who directed Nosferatu, he only directed 21 movies. 8 of them are considered lost. And,
wow.
I was skimming through his Wikipedia article, and something kind of interesting that I found is that in 2015, somebody broke into his grave and stole his skull, and it's still missing to this day.
Wait, that makes me want to cry. That's horrible.
I know. Yeah. And they found wax residue around it. So they think that it may have been like sort of an occult thing.
Why do we desecrate graves?
I know. Yeah. Yeah. And
God,
apparently this wasn't the first time that it had been broken into. Obviously it was the first time somebody stole his skull, but it had been broken into before, and they had been considering further like safeguards before this happened.
And they didn't?
Yeah, and they didn't have the chance to. So, yeah.
That poor man.
Yeah, so that's another thing that people can write into us about if they have any leads on Murnau's missing skull. Because that's...
Okay, so yes, we're going to solve that mystery. We're going to determine what the Jimmy Carter movie was. Oh, and then what Kev is talking about, this whole thing that we started this, is we have a call to action. So one of our movies coming up is Tiger Man, which was either released in 1978 or 1983, depending on the distributor. Yep. This movie, also on a list of, the list is like, no VHS or DVDs ever made of this, whatever.
Yes.
So we can't access this movie. If you know anything. I feel like we're like on like an infomercial or like a Dateline. If you know anything, please call this number. We'd love some insight if anyone could have. If you think, I've reached out to some people. No responses yet. So I'm hoping, but like, what are we going to do if we can't find the movie? We have another plan, but like, we'd love to be able to watch this. I don't know, is there anything, that was pretty rushed. Anything else succinct you could say about that?
No, I think that's pretty much it. 7 people on Letterboxd have marked it as watched. So we know that it is out there in some manner or form. It's just a matter of finding it.
It has a couple different titles as well, which is hard.
Yeah.
It's Tiger Man is also known as Fist. There's also a German title, something about San Francisco. I can't remember exactly what it is at the moment, but yeah.
Yeah. So that's our mission for you. If anybody knows, if anybody has any leads on this movie, because this is a podcast running through Alan Silvestri's filmography. So we would hate to have to skip over a film.
Yeah.
Obviously, we will if we have to, if we can't find it. And
we don't want to.
Right. And then maybe we'll come back to it eventually. But so that's our mission for you. So get the word out there. Check under your mattresses, check your grandma's closet.
The corner basements. Corner basements? Basement
corner
corners.
basements. check the the corner of your corner basement.
Yeah.
Yes, please find it. So that's in a few episodes, but for now, Grace, where are you landing on the Amazing Dobermans?
I think this is my least favorite Doberman movie.
Mhm.
And so I rated the other ones. Well, that's not true. My least, well, for the pod. I think I'm at 1.5 seems too harsh because it's like not offensive. I just didn't love it. So I think I'll leave it at 2.
Okay.
I think it's on.
Yeah,
It's maybe tied with my Doberman Gang one.
I believe that's correct. I can double check. Okay. No, so for the Doberman Gang, you gave that one 2.5 stars.
Oh,
And the
Las
Mus-
Vegas Lady, I gave 2.
You gave 2, yeah.
Okay, then I feel the same about that. Yeah, that's okay. 2 stars.
2 stars. Okay.
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. It's like it's not great. It's not offensive. Just sort of there. Can't believe Jimmy Carter watched this. Hope he had a good night. Can't imagine he did.
Yeah. Maybe. Well, he was a religious guy, so maybe he got something from that.
True. Mm-hmm.
I'm also at 2 stars. I was disappointed that the Dobermans were not in this as much. I did think that the
And
acting
they weren't amazing. Yeah.
and they could have just called this the Dobermans, really, and it would have been fine. I liked Fred Astaire. I thought he was really great. He had some great lines. The writing was maybe a little bit more fleshed out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we didn't cover it for the show, obviously, but I gave the Daring Dobermans 1 star because even disregarding the child abuse and the animal abuse, there's a Native American character in the movie, and the way that he is characterized was, I just found it, I found it really off-putting, even to the point where there's one lyrical song in the movie, and it's about like the subtext is like, look at this kid, inside he has the wisdom of an old man or something.
Yeah.
And it just felt, I don't know, it left a bad taste in my mouth. So I'm at 2 stars for this one. It's like you said, it's nothing particularly offensive. It's just, having watched the first one, I gave that one 3 stars. Having seen what the Dobermans can do, and then to see their abilities limited, I don't know. I found it disappointing. Let the Dobermans be the Dobermans.
Yeah. Do you think their skills were better displayed in the second movie? Child abuse and racism aside?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, like you mentioned before, the plan was definitely
elaborate,
enhanced. Yeah, it was. I don't know how. I'm hesitant to discuss anything about it since we didn't ask people to watch it. But it's like, how did they have time to build all of that stuff? Like,
well, one of the guys was unemployed.
Welding. That's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
I don't know.
Yeah. So that's where we're landing. Yeah, I feel comfortable with that.
Yeah, that's fine.
Well, that's 1976. This movie and our movie before, Let My Puppets Come, were both 1976. Alan took a little bit of a break. He took 1977 off. Maybe he was watching Star Wars all year or something.
Maybe.
So we will now be moving on to 1978. Grace, what will we be covering in our next episode?
The nightmare is knowing you're sane. A young woman collapses on the disco dance floor of what's revealed to be strychnine poisoning. Assuming that this is a suicide attempt, her boyfriend and doctor have her committed to the 5th floor, an asylum with obviously crazy inmates and a predatory orderly. The problem is, she's still sane. This is the 5th floor, 1978, directed by Howard Avidis.
The 5th floor. The nightmare is knowing you're sane. A true story. Rated R.
It's going to be a little freaky, I think, maybe.
We're breaking our
film.
streak. That's it. This is our first horror movie. We broke our streak of heists, and now we're moving into horror, which is not your favorite genre, right? Or is that just more like gore that you have an issue with?
Well, I really hate gore. Like repulsed by it, which like is the point.
Yeah.
But like in a way that like I don't want to sit through that. But I am a little bit of a scaredy cat. So we'll see how this goes. Maybe I'll love it. Like I loved Psycho, loved The Thing. We'll see. I can't imagine these really measure up in that way. But
well, it does have a hero of horror. It has Robert Englund, who just a few years later would become famous for his portrayal of Freddy Krueger. This is one of his
Really?
earlier roles. Yes.
Wow,
There's
look at him go.
if people look it up, there's a great picture of him on Google Images with like he's got his curly head of hair and he's doing like some kind of weird thing with his hands. It almost looks like the thing that a lot of people on TikTok do, where they're like pushing their hair back or pushing their hair back like they're being coy.
Like a hair tuck? Like a
Yeah, like that. Yes, exactly.
Okay.
I don't have any hair, so I can't really.
Well, I
recreate
literally
it.
thought you meant going like this, and I was like,
No, well, that's kind of what he's doing in the picture, but he's got like kind of like a shy face.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can watch this on Prime and Tubi, and maybe Plex. I don't know what Plex really does.
This will be the first movie where you don't have to go on YouTube and watch a shitty transfer or Internet Archive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We didn't talk about like the wine of the movie, like.
Oh my god!
like,
yeah. It was
you relax into it after a while, but in the beginning it's like, ooh, we're in for a ride.
I don't know if you watched the same version as me, but the VHS rip that I watched on YouTube,
did yours have ads in it?
Yes, it had ads, like because they, clearly they recorded it.
Yeah, ads like cut off.
VCR.
Yeah.
It had ads. It had like the static kind of snow, they call it, and then it had tracking bars from somebody's VCR, like the VCR adjusting the settings.
Oh. Well, what I thought was really shocking was the way that it just jumps into the film. Like I was like, did we miss something? I really was like, did we miss a scene? Because it's just immediately we're there. We're at the horse track / baseball stadium.
I had one other thing I wanted to plug this. Speaking of horror, so when this episode comes out on the 10th, 3 days from now, on Friday the 13th, people can hear me, Kev, and our friends Josh and Anna Gould on the 70mm Rejected podcast. We will be covering Friday the 13th, part 2. So if people
have you seen it before?
I have. Yeah, I had seen it, I think, once or twice before, and it went up in my estimation after this viewing.
Oh.
So yeah, so it was a really good conversation. So if people want to hear more of me for some reason talking about horror, or if you want to hear, if you want to hear Kev or any of our buddies, you can check that out.
Amazing! Shout out to Dave and everyone on the Rejected producing team. Anything else that we want to talk about or cover?
What do you guys have? Do you guys have anything? Anything special coming up on Big White Elephants?
Oh,
I know you're wrapping up your Oscars journey, right?
Yes, so we're wrapping up with Sinners, which will be out the day before this comes out. So maybe you've already listened. No, that's not true. It comes out the Thursday. If it comes out 2 days after this drops. We're really excited. I love Sinners. No surprise. I'm excited to talk to Scott about it. I think he has maybe a little bit less favorable opinion of it. And then it's the Oscars the next week, right?
That's right.
Is that how time works?
I think it's that weekend, right?
Wild. Who do you think's going to win? Best actor now? Do you think it's still in Timmy's column? Do you think it's Michael B? Like where is your head at?
I don't know. I mean, we're coming down to the final stretch here. I feel like Sinners has been getting a little bit of a boost, but I don't know. I've kind of fallen off on my my Oscars death race here, trying to watch as many as I can. It's just I know in like our first or second episode when the nominations just came out, I was like, well, there's only 50. It should be pretty easy. And then I fell off.
No,
so.
I feel that that's why I was watching a lot of shorts recently, is because I was watching shorts for the Oscars, because some of them are, there's one you should watch. Have you watched Forevergreen? It's one nominated for, I guess, Best Animated Short this year. It is a little manipulative, but I think it works pretty well. And it's just free on YouTube, which is nice, because that's not often the case.
Okay.
And then
I'll watch that one.
another one I liked was Jane Austen's period drama. One of our friends, I think, said it was like an SNL skit, and I think that's correct.
With even like with a clever title like that, that's. I mean, I'm hooked. Yeah, I thought it was really funny.
Is there one that you're going to try and prioritize, like one of the big movies that you haven't seen?
I I don't know. We talked about how I had really wanted to see K-pop Demon Hunters, and I did watch that. I gave it 3 stars. 3 stars is
Yeah,
good.
I saw. Yeah.
I really enjoyed the music. I think the story.
The back half is a bit pacing wise. There's some issues there. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's what it was for me. Yeah, I don't know. I'd like to at least have watched all the Best Picture nominees. I don't know if I'm going to get there, but
Have you seen F1 or no?
No, I still haven't.
You don't have
gotten
to.
It. Okay. Okay. That's Grace's permission for me and for everyone. You don't have to watch F1.
No one has to watch F1. F1 starts this weekend, right? The real sport. So when this comes out, we'll know who wins the Australian Grand Prix. Hopefully it's someone I like. If not, I'll be a little disappointed. This is the time of the year when I let 22 grown men rule my feelings. It's not fun, but that's what it is to be a sports fan, I guess. So we'll see. Thank you for listening to this episode. If you'd like to keep up with all things SOS, you can follow the show on Instagram at Sounds of Silvestri. You can also reach out to us at soundsofsilvestri@gmail.com or leave a message at 414-295-9966. We are both on Letterboxd. Clarence is at CK_LB and I am at GraceEllen_. This episode was edited by Clarence with production help from Dave and Ben. And as always, a big thank you to Alan Silvestri. Bye!